You mean I'm not invited to the rave?
You're not. You are the rave,
Dianna.
yeah.
Well, all right.
You're on stage.
You are the Senate.
You can't drop Molly in the bathroom if you're performing on stage.
That's true. I can drop
With
Molly
that
on
attitude.
stage, though.
Yeah, that's
You could drop Molly backstage before going on. Yeah.
You know what? Here's my question as a non-drug enthusiast. What did Molly ever do to you? Like, this bitch is just being dropped onto her ass left, right, and center, especially in music
She made
venues
my
and college
jaw
parties.
clench for like a day and a half afterward is what Molly did.
Hey, yo,
And so,
sorry.
but you dropped her first?
Man, I'm
I'm
just
not
thinking
clear
about the
on-
fucked up little world you must live in where you're thinking to yourself, God, you know, it'd be a fucking banger joke right now.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to soon to be world famous Dungeons and Dragons critically fuck shit tits piss. I fucked it up on the first try. That's fine.
When you hear the call to adventure into the fantasy fold, you never know what's around the next corner. Grab your dice and roll. So when you have a problem to solve, me and my best friends will answer the call. We'll break into somebody's house, find your enemies and knock them out. Steal a priceless gem or two. We might accidentally hurt you. We're not murder hobos, but you'll be killed and looted. We might be the bad guys, but with what diluted, because we're critically stupid. Critically stupid. Critically stupid. Critically stupid. Best friends.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your soon to be world famous Dungeons and Dragons comedy real play podcast, Critically Stupid. I am Alexander James. I am your neighborhood dungeon master. I am your best friend, and I am here fresh from hiatus,
Nice, dude.
which is what it's called when you take a break. It's called hiatus. Everybody else is calling it something wrong.
Is that a
we are-
fantasy hiatus?
It's fantasy hiatus. That's exactly what it is. We are back.
He
from
did that
our
on
break.
purpose, everybody.
I did. And we are here with our new campaign. We have lots of great new content to get into. We have a new cast member who we will be introducing in just a second. If you're audio only, you haven't heard their dulcet tones, but good Lord Almighty, get a fresh pair of underwear ready. You know what I mean?
Because you're gonna come? Is that the implication? Hey, everybody, I hope you're ready. As soon as you hear our new cast member, you're gonna come. I hope you
Yeah,
have a
right.
new pair
Sharp.
of underwear ready for all the cum that's going in the first pair.
Let's just get off Jump Street. I want to tell you, the audience member, a couple things about our show. If you haven't been following us, or if you're using this as an opportunity to get into the show, first of all, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We're so excited to tell our story with you. We are a family-friendly, Christian-centered show. That is something that I want to say right now, minute 3.
it's a joke. He's joking. As is contextually, he's joking. I have to say it. If you've never seen our show before, it's going to drive you crazy.
Yeah,
Don't abandon us. It's a gig. It's a joke. It's a bit. Oh God.
no,
I feel
it's
like
true.
unless it
After
gets
I
cut
just said the
out,
word
it was
cum
about
3
cum,
times
so,
within
like,
the
there
span
were
of
hints.
42 seconds. We're a Christian-based podcast.
That's what I mean. Like there were hints that it was a bit.
It was a bit. Okay.
Big guys.
Normally in this section, we talk about our favorite parts from last episode. However, this is episode 1. You are joining us for our new campaign. We are stoked as hell to get into it, literally. And instead of doing our favorite bits from last episode, we're going to talk about something that we're looking forward to in the campaign, whether it's a bit or a vibe or anything, because I, right now, I'm the only person that knows what we're going to get into, and I want to hear what my 4 cast members are stoked about. So I am excited for the combination of like Bram Stoker, Tim Burton-esque dripping gothic nightmares combined with your 4 particular brand of idiot bing bong comedy. I think it's going to be a really fun dynamic, and I'm stoked to get into it. Garion, let me hear you go next.
Hey, it's me, Goku, and I play Gareth the Rogue. And I think what I'm super stoked for is I really picture this whole campaign like an old timey, like a 60s era Scooby-Doo episode with like a big scary castle and like a lightning behind it, really
Yeah.
silhouetting the whole thing. And fuck if I'm not here for that vibe. Apollo, please go next. I forgot that I had to like say who's going.
Hey y'all, my name is Apollo. I'm very excited. On a serious note, I'm excited to be in a situation and have an emotional reaction to something that I couldn't foresee happening. On a less serious note, I can't wait to see a really hot villain and me, the player, die, and the character just have to be like, "Slay girl." Oh, Anthony, you go next.
Okay. Hi, I'm Anthony. I'm super excited to see like all 4 of Alex's voices like make their way into various characters that we're going to meet. I can't wait to figure out like I'm just gonna be like, oh, that was Floon right there, baby. Like I can't wait to see Alex just stretch his voices into these new NPCs.
It's like the voice actor for Archer and Bob from Bob's Burgers, where it's just the exact same.
It's the same voice. I will say though, I do sincerely think that Alex only has 4 voices, and it's hilarious to watch him try. No, I'm sorry. I only said that because I knew you thought I was gonna say something else. Alex, I do know that you've been working really hard watching those YouTube videos and tutorials and learning probably all the various Eastern European accents, and I can't wait to hear them. I truly
God, I
can't.
cannot wait to hear the first time Alex goes bleh.
All right, Bessie, take it away. I'm taking it away from Anthony. It's your turn now.
Hi, my name is Diana. I play Mel. I also have the Wolf Pup, Joshua Patrick, Josh Pat J. Peasy, which will remind Garion that he has Constance the kitten.
So
Before
cute,
I
by the way,
continue,
guys.
I would like to know what kind of hat Constance is wearing.
I am going to be honest. I don't know like where we are setting wise, so
I will give Constance the kitten a hat opportunity in the early section of today's episode. Don't fret.
Outstanding.
I am looking forward to Constance's hats. I am looking forward to apparently Arnold and Anthony's villain arc, because I was commenting before that Anthony was very nice, but he's starting this campaign off
Different energy, I would say.
Like, I am not mad at it. I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to seeing just how much better Apollo is than the rest of us combined. He's already got such a strong start. He gave like a serious answer and then like a jokey one and like labeled them, and the rest of us are just like going on fucking vibes.
He did a serious and a goofy one, like white people taking pictures.
I'm leaving, actually.
Okay. Dear audience member, you have heard our newest cast member. Apollo is joining us for our new campaign. We are so grateful to have him. He's going to make our show better because he's funny and good at the game, which is, we only do one of those things at a time. So it's
and cute as a button. Sorry.
All right. Let's jump into it with our traditional critically stupid cold open. We are going to build a wish.com monster hunter. So my first question goes to my main man, Garion, which is, what is this wish.com dollar store version of Van Helsing's weapon of choice?
So what's the main way to kill a vampire? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Sunlight.
Okay. That's probably bad. I was going for a stake in the heart in terms of like weapon.
Okay.
However, can dollar store Van Helsing afford that? No. But oh boy, does he have so many used chopsticks from old Chinese foods.
Fantastic. Okay. So he's just got is it just a holster full of chopsticks?
Yeah, I like to imagine he also has the like ammo barrel sash that's just full of chopsticks.
Okay.
They're in
I
his
love
hat
that.
too.
Okay. Anthony, what beast is this cheap monster hunter renowned for killing?
I mean, with the chopsticks, you'd have to imagine vampire, but that's not the case. He actually uses them as oars when he fights the various gillmen in the the Black Lagoons.
He sits in the tiniest boat and rows the
it's just little tiny oars. He also uses them as spears. They double duty as spears to stop this gillman. Yeah, he throws those tiny little things. He's very good at it, though. I'd have to say.
Okay, I got a follow-up question for Garion and Anthony because you've sort of painted me into a corner here. How big is this?
Yeah, is he
monster
really
hunter?
small? I'm thinking that this dollar store Van Helsing is really small.
I like the idea that it's just Warwick Davis, like not even a character,
not even
it's an
fantasy.
actor. It's not fantasy at all. It's literally
fantastic.
Warwick.
Okay, Apollo. This monster hunter carries an unusual trophy from a past hunt. What unusual trophy do they carry around?
You'd think that it's like the head of a monster that they slew. Absolutely not.
No.
It's from there was just people thought it was like a cockatrix or something like that, but it was actually just a really nasty chicken that was terrorizing the town by just really berating the other chickens to the point where all the other chickens were too depressed to lay eggs. And when he first kill of his life, and his mom gave him just a little star sticker that he has. She put it flat on the center of his forehead, and he has never taken that shit off.
Okay.
Nice.
Some say that it's permanently molded to his head.
So it's the star sticker is his trophy from his first kill of a chicken.
Yes, that his mother gave him.
Okay. I like to think that he didn't do it when he was a kid. He did it like 2 weeks ago. Okay.
He is a man in his 50s, by the way.
Okay, this is a perfect detail. Thank you. Dianna, this 50-year-old diminutive wish.com monster hunter who hunts and rows with chopsticks has an unusual personal adornment. It is either a piercing or a tattoo or some sort of like personal decoration that's not the gold star sticker on their forehead. What is it?
I would first like to say that I was really worried Anthony was going to say the monster was Asian vampires, and then I was like, I think only I can make that joke, actually.
Awkward. I can make that joke. I've seen enough horror movies of all around the world where I know about the hopping vampires. Come on, how dare you? That's not.
Well, it's more. It was like the chopstick thing.
Okay, that's fair.
I was
that's
going.
fair.
I was going.
You're right. I'm glad I avoided it.
I was going to like
completely.
play.
No, I really thought Anthony was gonna be like, no, I can make that joke. I'm just a little guy. I mean,
I'm just a little guy again. You don't know my history. No, but you're right. 100%.
I think that the adornment, other than the star, I think they have a tattoo of a piercing, actually, because the thought of getting the actual piercing just kind of freaked them out. I feel like it's a nipple piercing.
It is a tattoo of a nipple piercing.
Wait, is it the tattoo of dots or is it the tattoo of like a barbell?
It's
like
the
what
whole,
is happening?
it's the barbell,
It's
but
the
they
bar-
actually
oh,
like
okay.
tattooed the nipple over the nipple, but like with the barbells.
Okay.
guys,
Fantastic.
if you'll excuse me, I need to call my tattoo artist. I just had a great fucking idea.
Okay, we are going to leave our dollar store monster hunter right where he is, and we're going to smash cut. It is the deep summer in Waterdeep.
The Waterdeep summer.
The Waterdeep summer, which isn't actually a joke. That's just what it is. It's the Waterdeep summer. Think like a hot August on an upper East Coast city. The air is heavy and humid, and it rolls in every morning off the sea ward, perfumed with salt and smoke from the cook fires. The heat hangs over Waterdeep like a heavy blanket in the afternoon that oppresses everybody and keeps motion down, and the fights that normally are vivacious and break through the taverns and roll through windows onto the street are suddenly lackluster, and people are fighting until it's like they're getting into fights to show people that they're doing what's expected of them, and then they're too hot to continue, so
They're just going through the
back.
motions.
They're just going through the motions. They sigh back into their bar stools and take another sip of their over sweaty beverage that is already pooled in its own liquid on the
Over
bar.
sweaty.
Beverage is sweaty.
The beverages are condensing so much because it's so hot and humid in Waterdeep.
Okay,
The laundry
gotcha.
that is hung out on lines to dry across the narrow streets of the trade ward hangs limp deep into the evening because it takes so long to dry in this perfumed, salt-stricken air. It is deep summer in Waterdeep, and we are going to open on a hot summer morning with Arnold in Troll Skull Tavern. Now we're gonna talk about the changes that you guys have made to Troll Skull using the money that you got from the end of last campaign in just a minute. But what I want to know, Arnold, is what you are doing. Let's call it like just after opening, so you are technically open to the public, but you don't have anybody in your bar save for one person who I will get to in a minute. But what are you doing to open up Troll Skull Tavern call it a Saturday morning?
So Arnold, after the last adventure, he's gone through a lot, lost a lot of friends, lost a lot of people in his life. He's going through a lot emotionally. He's beginning every morning with a letter to himself, where he's just he opens up a diary and he's just kind of like, "Dear Arnold, today might be your last day on Earth."
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So every day he starts
That's just
the
my
letter.
diary entry.
I was like, you've been reading Diana's DMs, I see.
So every day he begins the letter that way.
I thought it was like that thing you would do as a kid where it's like, okay, write a letter to yourself in the future. Like you'd write it in like freshman year of high school, and then senior year, like read it.
Well, it's kind of like that, except for like he does it every morning. So then he's just like he feels disappointed that he didn't do better with the previous day every single time, which is
Damn.
So
Sounds
yeah, so
depressing.
exactly. He's going through his dark period. So
It's Arnold's blue period.
it's Arnold's blue period. So he's getting real emo, guys. Arnold's been through a lot. So he does that, and then he begins the morning just kind of improvising through some songs, like trying to get the tone of the day out is what he's trying to do.
So tell me and the audience very briefly what Arnold looks like on this very hot, very humid morning. All of the windows and shutters in Troll Skull Tavern are thrown open, trying to catch even the slightest breeze moving through Troll Skull Alley, but there is none. So it is hot and sodden inside the tap room.
Oh yeah, so Arnold has like long dark brown hair. It's kind of pulled back into a nice little, like, not a man bun per se because he has most of it still hanging down, but there is a bit of a bun going on. If you've never seen Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead, go watch that. And it's
perfect vibe. Perfect vibe.
I say it every single time, but yeah, it's that. But yeah, he has a sort of black vest situation on, kind of like it's like a Wish.com Alex right now. Like if you imagine like
Alex.
Yeah.
What if I'm already the Wish.com version of Alex?
It's thrift store /
It's
Wish.
similar. This is the Temu version.
It's
of
the
Alex,
Temu version.
and
It's the Franken Temu version of Alex, but with longer hair, and more Gary Oldman looking. But yeah, he looks a little downtrodden, obviously pretty sweaty right now, given that he's in this large tavern and it's probably pretty hot. He has long hair, and he's not going to take off his bardic clothes. Like he has this like fun puffy shirt and his vest, and he's not going to change it. But yeah, he's very sweaty and very hot right now.
Perfection. So I see Arnold. Maybe you're leaning back on a bar stool with your feet up on another bar stool because you've heard Gareth talk at great length about people putting their feet up on the actual bar, so to use another stool. But you are plucking the strings of your lute, trying to figure out the tune of the day.
Yes, exactly.
And several stools away from you sits the figure that has actually been in Troll Skull Tavern since before you unlocked the doors. They came in to sit down. They are looking over a heavy, official-looking packet that has been twice sealed and is stamped with the Waterdeep City seal on the front. It is an older woman. Her hair is lank with sweat, sort of like clinging to her temples and stringing in front of her face in gray strands. Her eyes are puffy and swollen. There is a glass of untouched water in front of her, and then another smaller, very noticeably empty shot glass. And she has a piece of scrap parchment and a rough charcoal nub that she is taking notes with. And she flips another page in this packet, and you hear a long-suffering sigh break to probably fairly cheerful notes coming from your lute as she goes, "Oh, God."
Okay, so hearing that, Arnold would respond and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like another beverage? Is that why you seem upset? Is there something I can do for you?"
Now, Arnold, yes. First of all, yes, I would love another beverage.
So
I
Arnold
know-
just hops over the bar, like just I don't go
Nice.
through like a little door. He like does he sets his loop down, puts his hand up, and just feet over the bar. Doesn't touch it with his feet. There's no dirty like step or anything. Just completely over the bar.
Perfect. The first roll of this campaign is going to be this acrobatics check from Arnold Stevenson to see how smoothly he does this.
Now, keep in mind, the first roll of last campaign was a nat 20.
They were all 20s. All rolls from people who weren't me were all 20s.
We actually did that. How did
We
that
didn't
happen?
roll below a 20 for 55 episodes straight, and if you break that streak, I'll be really bummed out.
Oh, okay.
No
let me-
pressure.
no pressure at all. Let me roll and see what happens here. God. Let's see. Well, I did not roll a nat 20. In fact, I rolled a
Is it a
2,
one?
everyone. So I got a 5. I got 5.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
So
Pure honesty
Arnold,
here,
you
everyone.
put your hand on the bar and move to like vault over it, except let's call it still wet from this woman's like sweaty beverage, and you slip, your elbow strikes the bar, and you fully beef it over this bar, shattering glassware, and then I see you just sort of like pop up.
Can I pop
You know-
myself? I was gonna say, can I
Yeah.
pop myself up and kind of. Yes. So, what was that you were drinking again? I apologize. I probably should remember.
Now you're gonna judge me probably a little bit.
Not me.
Uh,
No,
yeah,
you're my best friend already. I let you. I let you in this bar.
Now
You've been-
Arnold, you've called me your best friend before. It's
course I
very
have.
nice. I am a barrister with the city of Waterdeep, and I am doing this for you as a favor. So that's why you're not going to charge me for this beverage, but I will take another fire whiskey, and you can go ahead and make it a double because the sun is now over those buildings, so it's technically daytime.
I hate to interpose on the story, but I think Trollskull has notably lost a bartender recently. So
Mhm.
that would force Gareth to be at the bar and therefore probably overhearing this conversation. And therefore, absolutely, we are charging her. Sorry.
Tell you what, let's go ahead and say that Arnold, you hear Gareth's voice with the new policy about no free beverages echo through your ears. So at some point in this conversation, you're going to have to break to this person that you are charging them for beverages.
Well, so what I'm gonna say is, as I'm pouring the beverage, I'm like, oh, I will absolutely give you a free drink. However, the glass it's carried in costs the amount of the drink.
You're charging for the glasses. Okay,
Charging for the glasses that you will unfortunately have to give back.
Exactly.
fair. Okay.
The rental fee.
Yeah. It's a
So this woman slugs this fire whiskey back in a way that only a true professional can do before the hour of our Lord 8 a.m. And then she flips another page in this packet and says, "Oh, Arnold, it is really not looking good for you guys." And then the door swings open and Gareth and Constance walk in. Gareth, you are fresh from a midnight, let's call it excursion. So what are you bringing back to Trollskull with you the next morning? It is early enough that you feel like you can walk the streets without arousing suspicion. But I do want to know what sort of trinkets and trophies you bring back with you from your midnight run.
Okay, if it's
And of course, the hat that Constance is wearing.
if it's a midnight excursion, it is definitely a little bit of fantasy weed.
Okay. How much is a little bit?
You know what? Let like an 8, not too much.
All right, yeah.
You know. And in terms of Constance's hat, I want to knock this out of the way right away here.
Okay.
So you said it's like deep, humid, hot summer.
Yeah,
It's
shitty summer.
basically Florida, is what I'm hearing. We're back.
It's
to
Fort
Florida.
Lauderdale, Florida.
It's an inside joke for our Patreon members
I'm so
in the
sorry.
future.
Our future Patreon. Okay, Gareth.
I think you know what? He has one of those hats you would see at sporting events that has like 2 beverages on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, the beer hat.
Yeah.
Is it beer?
No, it's water because
Okay.
you know, I'm not gonna give my cat beer.
Not at this age.
So, Gareth, you come swinging in through the doors at Troll Skull. It's early. You clearly have just opened. There's only one customer so far, which is kind of a bummer for you guys financially. But Arnold is there taking care of her. So,
I mean,
can
we're
you
pretty rich, so
Can you please, Gareth, describe to me and the audience what Gareth looks like, and please do include Constance and who Constance is.
Absolutely. So, first and most important is Constance the kitten.
Obviously.
Constance was rescued from a treasure vault. He was the most precious treasure in that vault. At the moment of that we found him, he was possessed by some sort of spirit, but he's gone. So now he's just a really cute magic kitten. And I know what you're thinking, magic kitten. I bet that's really helpful and overpowered. No, he has an adorable little magic book, and every page is just a different hat, and he can magically switch what hat he's wearing. That's it.
That's it.
If you're looking for a helpful animal, go talk to Josh Pat.
In addition to Constance, what does Gareth look like?
I'm so glad you asked. Gareth, just to start, has some sunglasses first and foremost if there's any fucking shenanigans in the future. They are just pretty standard. First of all, notably like real, like what you would see today in real life, round sunglasses, not like fantasy sunglasses. Like you could buy these today at the mall.
Yeah.
But don't worry about where I got them. He just has them.
Sure.
He has snow white hair that is embarrassingly often tied up in the same fashion that I have right now. And I did not do that on purpose. I promise. In fact, I might have to undo it now that I am pointing it out. However, he does also have a shitty little goatee like this. It is just black, unlike the rest of his hair. His clothes, typically he will wear wizard robes that have been dyed black. But because of the heat, I think he's just wearing shorts.
Are they dyed black?
Also dyed black, yeah.
Okay, cool. Are they cargo shorts?
How many pockets are we
This is the question.
here?
They are absolutely cargo shorts, and you can tell by the zipper at the bottom of the shorts that they are the kind that you can zip on the bottom to be pants, but they're zipped off at the moment.
Okay. And Constance is in one of the short pockets, or is he still? Because in your robes you had like a chest pocket that.
Constance is on the shoulder.
Oh, cool! That's a cool vibe.
And you know what? I'm gonna add something a little funky, something a little fun.
Yeah.
He got something new. He now has a tattoo of a crescent moon dagger on his left shoulder blade.
Constance the cat or Gareth?
No, Gareth does.
Okay. All right. Cool. I was like, don't tattoo animals, please.
It was pretty funny though.
Okay, so Gareth has a tattoo of a crescent blade. That's pretty sick. Gareth, you walk into Troll Skull, sporting your secret stash and your kitten with his hydration hat on. And you notice, in addition to Arnold Stevenson manning the bar, a familiar figure sitting, and that is Barrister Sophie. Gareth, you know that Barrister Sophie is a friend of the bar. She lives in Troll Skull Alley, in one of the shitty studios above Wicked Wares and Wiles, which is a store down the road. And you have asked Barrister Sophie to look over the very dangerously official looking tax document that the city of Waterdeep sent you just about exactly 5 business days after you came back with 500,000 gold dragons from a vault buried under the city.
Okay, so Gareth is going to. So I assume I know that's what she's going over right
Correct.
now. Okay,
Yes.
So Gareth will approach her and be like, "Barrister, I'm so glad to see that you are finding yourself at home. I hope that our good friend Arnold, who was taking my place at the bar, hasn't done something as awful as charging you for what you're drinking. If he has, that would be despicable of him. Now, as we could get you as many free drinks as you want, if you want, just slap your signature on the form there and just don't bother reading it. Just shoot it up to the. You give the all good.
That's very kind of you. Thank you, Mr. Gareth. It's the beverages, Mr. Stevenson assures me, are free. The glassware, I will say, pretty expensive for a bar.
No. That is a rental service for our how do I say, less important customers that you of course would never dream of paying. Of course implying that you just pop your signature right down there.
Now, Mr. Gareth, you and I both know, first of all, I'm not going to sign this. And second, do not tell me where you have been or what you have been doing. I am a mandated reporter. Keep whatever's in your pockets to yourself. All right. I hope you and Constance had fun last night. Don't talk to me about it. I don't want to know.
Constance flips a page in his book and is now wearing a Rasta hat.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool. Does it have fake dreadlocks coming out of it, or is it just the hat?
It's just the hat.
Cool. Great choice. I regret giving you the option, frankly.
That was a test. You passed.
Now that I have two of you here, Arnold and Gareth, why don't you each take a second and tell me about an improvement that you have added to Troll Skull? Obviously, at the end of our last campaign, for anybody who might be unfamiliar, Troll Skull did burn down, but it is currently in the process of, it is actually almost finished being rebuilt with some improvements due to the astounding surplus of funds that you guys brought back from the Dragon Vault. So tell me about some improvements that you're putting to Troll Skull Tavern. Let's start with Gareth.
No, don't do that. Dude, if you're going to give me a base building opportunity, give me a fucking second, all right?
Nope, absolutely not. Right off the cuff, first thing that comes to mind.
You know what? So, I think it has, for no real reason other than vibe and aesthetic, just like a windmill.
Ooh, on top of Troll Skull?
Yeah.
I love that, actually.
And notably, that's where Gareth has relocated his room to.
Okay, out of the basement into the windmill. I love that. Okay, fantastic. Arnold, what about you? Oh, sorry.
Can I ask a question? Bestie, is this version of Troll Skull also haunted?
It is, actually. And as Gareth walked in, an invisible spectral hand pulled a bar stool away from the bar in anticipation of him sitting down.
That is that's some pimp shit, dude. That's hard. Dude, fucking kicking the door open to your own bar and then going to sit down in the chair just being pulled into you. All right, what's going on? That's hard.
Arnold, tell me about an improvement that we're being added to Troll Skull.
So Arnold commissioned with some of the money several paintings of the various activities and adventures that they went on throughout their journey to getting that money. So yeah, and it's just some of his favorite moments. Some of them aren't great, but yeah, he did that, and he also extended the stage just like 6 inches. It's just like a little bit. He didn't want to get greedy. It was just
6 inches. That's like a lot.
It's a lot, right? It's a big amount.
Also, I like to imagine the paintings are like tragic moments, but Arnold remembers them as being like really happy and everyone's hugging.
I love that. We're not going to break that into detail because that was last campaign. This is this campaign. Yes. We don't want to confuse any new listeners. So, Gareth, Barrister Sophie flips another page in this packet and takes another note. And actually, Gareth, you can see that her notes on this scrap of parchment that she's taking with this little charcoal nub, which is sweaty and tacky and is getting like charcoal dusted fingerprints, not only across this paper, but across the bar and her glass, is starting to devolve a little bit. Her notes are making less and less sense as she goes. What started as sort of like legible lines of text and helpful suggestions have now started to devolve into dollar amounts and individual people's names by first or last, but not both. And she flips another page and goes, Gareth, I've been telling your friend Arnold here. I'm not sure. I don't know how much I can do for you. Just like as a friend. I mean, even if you hired me, like I don't know what I could do here.
Listen, I can assure you that we have recently obtained a perfectly legitimate sum of money that if it is unfortunate that, the tax day rolled around this time because we haven't had quite enough time to, for the lack of a better term, launder it.
But Gareth,
Just
Gareth, that's what I'm telling you. She takes another slug of this fire whiskey and slams it back down on the bar and scoots them back over to Arnold to refill. And she like relaxes a little bit. The tense line in her shoulder relaxes, and she rubs her puffy eyes. And she says, Gareth, that's what I'm telling you. I mean, it's like embezzling is a serious offense, and apparently Waterdeep is not thrilled that some local proprietors have just found 500,000 gold titties beneath the city. Hey, Apollo, the gold coin of Waterdeep is called the gold booby because of choices that I had allowed a guest to make on an episode last campaign.
also called the titty, as dollar, buck, same kind of thing. So booby titty,
You get it.
Also, the
Oh.
silver taint, I believe, was the.
It's the silver gooch, actually.
Oh,
Get
is
right?
it gooch? Sorry.
So
Okay.
I'm
We like to
saying,
have fun.
I'm saying it, like they're not gonna let you keep a lot, Gareth. And like, listen, I know that you told me to look for holes, which I thought was inappropriate at the time, but like I'm always down to clown. But like the holes that I found, Gareth, are really hard to plug with a goddamn windmill at the top of this tavern. And that's not the first time I've said that, if you know what I mean.
You know what? Forget what I said about the large sum of money. We have exactly enough money to pay taxes, and we have got that from our income. In fact, give me 30 minutes, and the profits I mentioned will be gone forever. You'll never find them again, if they even existed.
Let's smash cut maybe a couple hours into the future. Smash cut. The tap room has started to fill up. People strolling through the trades wards, the neighborhood, going to various shops, grabbing coffee at Troll Scroll, grabbing a beverage, grabbing a pastry before they go about their day. Mel, do you come? My question for you is: I was writing these show
Do
notes.
you
and
come is the question. That's
Do
what
you
he asked.
come?
Do you come?
Please keeping in mind that this is a family-friendly, Christian-centered show.
Do you come?
Only when Apollo talks.
Golly, that's
That's what we in the biz call a callback.
Now, I'm genuinely asking Mel because I don't know. Do you and Josh Pat come from down? From
Do you and
upstairs?
Josh back come?
Do you
It's
and Josh
January.
Pat? Listen to me. Do you and Joshua Patrick come downstairs because you
Okay.
slept late, or do you come in from outside having done something early in the morning?
Probably in from out.
Okay, so what have you and Joshua Patrick been up to this morning?
Every morning, JP and I, we always go out and. We okay, guys?
I'm sorry. Apollo's face when you said it and run it out, I was like, I'm dead. I'm fucking dead.
yeah.
You can't. Apollo.
I 100% said it because his face changed when Alex posited the option. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to lean into it. I didn't realize that it was going to have this much of an effect.
I'm sorry. I tried really hard, but it
Pull yourselves together. Diana and I are doing some very serious role playing.
Very
Diana, where do
serious.
you come from?
The All right, Mel. Which vicinity do you arrive from?
Yeah.
Every morning, JP and we've always done this. We go
Mhm.
out and we practice his like tracking and his interactions with other people and other dogs. And we get him a turkey leg, but he's been feeling a little bit put out about Constance getting the hats. And he knows he's not a magical pup, but so she's actually taken him to the store to get him a little bandana. And
Cute.
he's very happy about that. So we're
Okay.
coming back from the bandana store.
Now, I know that we aren't mentioning, too much of what happened in the last campaign because we want this to be a jumping on point for new fans, but it is crucial to mention that Constance and Josh Pat do get along pretty well.
Oh, I mean, that was
they're best
no
friends.
doubt.
They're basically like Arnold and Garrett. They're
like Arnold and
forever.
everybody else. They are best
Fact.
friends.
That's
All right,
fair.
so,
That's fair.
Mel, first of all, tell me about Joshua Patrick. Describe him to the lovely audience who are joining us potentially for the first time. Keep in mind this is a time jump, so he's bigger than a puppy. Probably like a couple months. So I think that he's in his gangly sort of like
he's
adolescent
real
pup
gangly.
years.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
got paws
He's gotta
too big
grow
for
into
his
legs
frame.
still. His
Yeah.
ears are
Oh,
kind of too
man.
big. He's so cute though. So JP is a wolf pup, and he was a gift to me from Bestie for making me relive all of my traumas in the last campaign. So I've got
Actually, it was a specific bit of trauma that was unnecessarily pointed. I will admit
all
to.
3 of them. I was like, did you read like an autobiography? I haven't written one, but anyhow,
It's like cheat codes on how to make Diana sad.
it's not that hard though. Like
Fact.
you've got a 95% chance of it. Like that made me a little bit sad. So we're off to a solid start. He's all black except for very green eyes, and he has one ear up and one kind of folded over.
Oh,
And
my
he's
dog
super,
does that.
super adorable.
And,
my first dog did that.
Diana, what is Mel wearing on this hot, humid, very sweaty, sultry summer day?
So because it's hot and she's been coming a lot, obviously.
Naturally.
So she normally has her hair like in like one long braid, but she's pinned it up so that it's just out of the way. I think she's wearing like a linen, something very like it breathes very
Breathable, sure.
well, like a linen sort of like tunic type shirt with like a belt, and then she's still wearing pants, but they're like capri. They're cut off. They're not shorts. They're certainly not cargo shorts. They're like capri length.
Fantastic. Okay.
Did you have
as
other
you
questions for me?
I
Sorry.
did not. No, you're good. As you walk into Troll Skull, a phantasmic spectral hand reaches up from the floorboards and just adjusts Joshua Patrick's neckerchief, just makes it like centers it on his neck, brushes a little bit of fur and dust off. What neckerchief did you guys go out and buy, Bestie? Is it like is there a pattern? Is it just a color?
Well, we actually got a bunch. I feel like she's got a bag.
Nice. Okay.
Because she's carrying a bag for him, and this one is a red and black plaid because it just looks
Fantastic.
very, very good on him.
Now, in addition to Joshua Patrick, my main girl, Diana, aka Meliora, has one other feature in Troll Skull that I have to imagine would have been one of the first things that was repaired when money started flowing back into Troll Skull, which is a section of the tap room that is essentially an isolated balcony, 15 to 20 feet up on the wall, accessible via a single rope and a trolley or a pulley and tray system that is used to ferry beverages up and down. And that is Meliora's crow's nest, where she spends most of her time in the tap room because she refuses to sully her time and hands with other people, which honestly, I think we can all get on board with a little bit.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe this? First thing repaired.
First thing.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the house was being rebuilt and she was somehow
It was
watching
built
from above.
around the crow's necks, actually. Like that.
But actually, speaking of repairs, Diana, what is one improvement that you would have added to Troll Skull Tavern?
I mean, my crow's nest has been upgraded to the max. Like it is nice up there. Before it was just, literally kind of like a little crow's nest, but now it's almost its own little small, not room, but think like a tree house. You know what I mean? Where
Okay,
it's
sure.
got more space.
I picture she goes up to the crow's nest and there's just like big iron doors and it's just
Yeah,
like
basically.
eye scan.
It's like a Mission Impossible entrance. It's like a walk analyzer.
But she's also just a fun little skill she's trying to teach JP. He's working on it, is to go up and down a ladder since he's a little bit bigger now. So she's also got like a rope ladder that she is training him on. She'll still carry him a large part of the way, but just training him because he's getting bigger and bigger. And there will reach a point where he's perhaps too heavy for the little pulley
Tray.
The word I can't think of. And if I'm allowed one other upgrade, I like to think that she reads a lot of encyclopedias, a lot of books. I feel like she found a book on communing with the dead and has in fact invited more ghosts to come stay at
So it's
this
extra
troll
haunted.
skull. Yes.
Nice.
She was kind of hoping that she'd get a ghost that's actually helpful should somebody try to burn it
Don't hate
down.
on Leaf.
So what's funny is you walk in, Mel, and a spectral hand adjusts Joshua Patrick's handkerchief, and also like fluffs the rope ladder in case you wanted to walk up to your crow's nest. And then you made that comment, and it tears the rope ladder off of the crow's nest, and you got to take the trolley system up yourself.
Tough scene.
Why wouldn't another one of the ghosts I invited just like clearly that's Leaf and he's a little salty but like honestly I'm a little salty with Leaf, so I mean we're even.
Gareth, do you have a question?
I would just be really remiss if I didn't mention that canonically Constance look like whatever you think the cutest kind of cat is.
Thank God. Okay.
Just wanted to get that out there.
In addition to Mel's books on hauntings is what we'll call it. The windmill atop Troll Skull, the slightly increased stage, and Arnold Stevenson's panoramic highlights of your escapades throughout Waterdeep, both on and off camera. Troll Skull is coming back with a vengeance, metaphorical, not literal. It is refreshed from its burning. The floors are new and sanded. The backyard scenario that you guys had with just a couple of tables and chairs is now a flourishing patio that is brick lane and planted with various bushes and small trees and flowering vegetation.
How is our fantasy weed crop?
Your fantasy weed crop exists in Corellian's Crown, which is the plant store across the way. You have an
that is where I just came from, actually.
With Fala Lafayette, they, them, who takes care of your burgeoning fantasy marijuana crop. Let's not get it twisted. This is a Christian-centered, family-friendly podcast. And the number of improvements to Troll Skull are impressive to behold. And, Mel, only make the packet that Barrister Sophie, you recognize walking into this tap room, all the more damning in the accusations that it's leveling, because you have actually gone over it for the first time, because obviously Gareth, being the person that runs Troll Skull, handles a lot of the promotions and finances, ultimately at the end of the day has less than no idea what was in that packet because he does not know how to read. So you were the one who opened that packet the first night that it was delivered to you by official Waterdeep City Courier to learn about the tax accusations that were being levied against Troll Skull Tavern and you as a group. You know that the city of Waterdeep is coming after the money that you guys gained from the end of last campaign.
Well,
yes,
that doesn't...
Anthony.
I have to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank God, me too.
No, all right, hey, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Anthony, my hero.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the sponsored portion of this episode, which is our Libris Arcana ad. We are so excited in our campaign 2 to be still supported by Libris Arcana, makers of fine dice and D&D accessories. Right now, I'm going to throw it over to the person that actually got a Libris Arcana drop most recently. Garion, what can you tell me about what Libris Arcana sent you in January, and why should our listeners be excited to go sign up for this subscription dice set?
Well, I got an email on January that said I had dice that were on the way, and I started screaming like a little girl. I was like, "Ee!" It was real cute. They sent me 3 sets, only one of which, unfortunately, I have like on hand. Exactly like that, Apollo. Thank you for our visual listeners who saw what he just did. Unfortunately, I only have one of them on hand, which is their set Frostbite. Ooh. I've been looking at it this whole session, and it genuinely looks like just like a piece of ice on my table. I think it's so sick. The other two sets I got were Pyrite and Borealis. Borealis was really cool because it did genuinely kind of look like the Northern Lights a little bit. And just I think one of my favorite things about Libris Arcana is the variety of different resin sets they have. They have some like this one, which name I can't remember. I'm so sorry, which is kind of more opaque, but they have a whole bunch of resin ones with some kind of with stuff in them, like shillelagh. They have stuff like Emberstone, which is all resin, but it's really cool. They have some cool stuff, man.
Now, in addition to the cool dice, you can also go to LibrisArcana.com and check out their leather D&D book covers that they sell. If you are like me and you spend a fair amount of money on these D&D books, you want to protect them against the other stuff knocking around in your backpack, or if it's just sitting on the shelf to keep it nice and fresh, because those books are not cheap when they come out. But Anthony, where can our audience members go to sign up for their very own Libris Arcana dice subscription?
Go to LibrisArcana.com. Make sure you use the promo code Stupid20. You can get 20% off and any of those dice, or the fun leathery cover stuff that Alex was talking about.
And Dianna, if I was somebody going to LibrisArcana.com for the first time to sign up for a subscription dice set, but I only wanted 1 month, talk to me about the cancellation process. Do I have to talk to an actual human being to cancel that subscription?
Oh God, no! Are you kidding? Why would that be a requirement? I do want to say, it is very affordable. Of course, we cancel for any number of reasons, but I have always found them very, very affordable. I lost a bet or something. I did send a set to Anthony at one point, and very cost effective for something so beautiful. But in the event that you do need to cancel, you can just do that right online. And if you want to sign up again in a couple months, you can do that right online too. You never have to talk to another actual human being, and that is one
Honestly,
of my favorite parts about it. Seriously.
Libris Arcana with our exclusive discount code Stupid20 for 20% off anything site-wide. We're going to start a new thing here. It's campaign 2. So I'm going to say,
stay homunculus, everybody.
Libris Arcana, dice for life. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I hope you're all as refreshed as we are from what I assume was your bathroom break as well. I hope you have peed and gotten a fresh beverage, unless you're driving, in which case I hope you got a fresh beverage and you didn't pee, because it's dangerous to pee while driving.
I hope you're drinking and driving, though.
I do hope you are drinking and driving, because that is the safest way to do it. Family-friendly, Christian-centered podcast. All right, Mel, you see Barrister Sophie going over this packet. You see this parchment next to her with scribbled notes that are hasty, and she notices you come in. She pets Joshua Patrick. Joshua Patrick smells her hand, very familiar with her, is very fine with her. And she says, Lady Melior, welcome back to your, I don't know why I'm welcoming you. You live here and I don't.
So she's hammered, right?
It is late in the day now, and it's totally normal to have this much to drink. But listen, I know you're worried about this sort of document, but I'm here to tell you I have somebody who's gonna help you. He's an associate, that's a hard word. An associate of mine. He dabbles in sort of a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Anyway, he's very good at legal things. I've sort of tied him in. I told him to meet me here in the morning, but I guess he's kind of running late because he's a little bit of a mess. But he'll be here post haste, probably.
Gareth puts on one of the fake mustache and glasses. Hello, it's me, your associate.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, Gareth, how would you react to seeing Mel come in? I mean, give me a quick, one brief scene interaction between the two of you.
I think actually no words were exchanged, but Gareth picked up 2 8s, one of them tossed to Dianna, and Constance, Connie for short, by the way, nice. Hops off Gareth's shoulder onto Josh Pat as if riding him a little bit. Because while Josh Pat got bigger over the time skip, Constance, weirdly, same size. Same
adorable, illegally small kitten.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. The door to Troll Skull Tavern opens, and an unfamiliar to all of you figure walks in. Apollo, could you please introduce, or at least tell us what your character looks like? Tell us what we see walking into Troll Skull Tavern.
And just do a little bit worse of a job.
Be
than
just
normal.
like a little bit bad
A
at it. I
little
think.
bit.
Actually, no, fuck y'all. So you know how Barrister Sophie said that I was supposed to be here in the morning. Julian Ironblade arrived about 3 hours ago, but has just been standing outside the door. Julian Ironblade, it is a.
But I'm sorry.
dwarf.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
to
wait, did
interrupt.
neither
I just came
Gareth
in.
or
Did I
Mel see you?
you?
He's just a little guy.
After ye guys came in, like a little bit after, probably. But the point is, I've been standing out here for a while, and I am supposed to go in early. That's
You
the
got
bit.
scared.
Julian Ironblade is a mountain dwarf.
Anxiety is tough.
Oh fuck yeah, I
Uh,
love dwarves.
Mountain dwarf, dark skinned. He is standing around 4'11. He's 4'11, 4'12. He's pushing 5 foot tall.
That's a
He
tall
has,
dwarf.
Tall dwarf.
Yeah, it's a tall dwarf. Sorry,
Tall
dwarf.
guy. He's a tall
tall
guy.
dwarf.
It's a tall dwarf.
Jesus. He has just short hair and like the beginnings of a beard. At his age of like 24, 25, like he's reached
Oh, that's a
maturity,
young
so the beard
dwarf.
should be longer. It's just a little bit inadequate for a dwarf of his age.
Like
He's wearing
scraggly?
kind of like gray and blue robes that have little metallic patches to them. They're armored for some fucking reason. And for the past couple hours, he arrived early and then he just was reading his little notebook where he had written out the speech that he was going to say to introduce himself. And he's just been there saying it to himself for hours, trying to build up the confidence and just get the tempo exactly right to go in and say, "Hello, my name is Julian Ironblade. I'm the nephew of Branton Ironblade. I am here to help with the taxes situation," but then also, and then his whole spiel.
Mm-hmm.
By the time he looks up from his book, few hours have passed. He goes, runs in the door and just says, "Hi, my name is fuck."
Hi, fuck. It's nice to meet you. I'm Arnold, and I will be your best friend. Would you like a drink?
So I'm hearing it
I'll-
sounds like when Alex always tries to open the show the first time.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, that sounds like me.
All you're looking at him, he's like a what's the name of that actor? William Jackson Harper. He has like that kind of look. He has like Chidi Anagonia from The Good Place. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Give me just 1 second.
Yeah, look him up.
Is it just Cheaty? Oh, I love Cheaty.
It's just Dwarf Chidi, quite honestly.
Okay, cool.
I'm not mad at
Amazing.
that.
I'm on board with this 100%.
Okay, so Gareth, Mel, Arnold, you see a young hill dwarf sort of stumble through the doors.
Mountain dwarf.
Mountain dwarf, excuse me. Stumble his way through the doors and get through what was clearly the first 3 lines of a carefully crafted introduction, and then almost immediately stutter, stumble, and fuck it up. And he gets a little embarrassed. But Barrister Sophie spins in her chair, and for the second roll of this campaign, does fall out of it with a 4 on acrobatics. So she fully falls out of her stool and sort of eats it, and then sort of like throws her arms out in welcome from the floor and goes, "Giant!"
Alistair! Oh my god, if you hurt yourself, Gareth slides her another shot.
Nah, fine. She stands up, brushes off her filthy barrister's robes. No,
Sophie, it's 4
fine.
p.m. Please get up. Please. Hey,
is-
hi.
Not 4 p.m. Clearly, I would not be this.
Do you need healing? How hurt are you?
I'm fine. Stop it. Don't touch me. Listen.
Okay.
What I assume that you're here to help these fine, although slightly tax avoiding folks with their predicament.
Yes. Hi. Hello. My name is Julian Ironblade. You might remember my uncle, Branton Ironblade.
Brandon! He was a dwarf. He was the one at the Halloween fest, right?
Yes, that's when he met the whale. I wonder how that whale's doing. Must be fantastic.
Your uncle is a very
Definitely.
serious fella.
I appreciate you coming out here, but we're not tax evading. This is
Oh no,
Any
you are.
money we've come into would not be reported on this year's taxes. It'd be reported on next. We're fine. They're saying we're evading when it doesn't make sense.
We haven't evaded anything. We haven't paid a single, or we've paid every tax.
No, that's the problem. No, you haven't. See, okay, the way taxes work. I just explained some very basic rundown of taxes, and then he says, now there are a couple of precedents that you might be able to. There are a couple of loopholes that you might be able to fit into. There are a couple. There have been a couple of cases where adventurers have come into great deals of wealth by discovering a stash or coming into great fortune by vanquishing an enemy. If you could argue your case, there are ways that you could keep the vast majority of this. If not, the city of Waterdeep is going to try carve out probably 40% of everything you got.
Oh,
So,
guys,
hypothetically-
Julian, sorry to interrupt. Julian, I meant to tell you there's an update. The high judge Markenowitz got back to me. I did the Inquisition like you asked me to. I mean, I know it was my idea, but you asked me to do it, so it was my idea. So I wrote that letter, and he told me that it was going to be a there's what he says a no arguments hearing. So these guys aren't actually going to get a chance to sort of say their bit, and the number it's not 40. He also got back to me about that. It's 85%.
That seems. Listen, I'm no expert on law, but a no argument hearing seems a little unfair.
You would think that, but here's what's actually happening: is the city of Waterdeep wants that money, and they're gonna get it. As long as you three are in the city, they're gonna get it. Because the only thing they need is you to go to the hearing, and then they're going to get their money. So you're either going to volunteer to go, which would be very nice of you. I'm sure they'd love that, or they're going to arrest your ass and take you to the hearing. But either way, you guys are going to go or be there, and it's 85%.
I have a radical idea. Just throwing it out there, and you, my dear friends and co-workers, which is a combination that usually is terrible.
Fact.
Yeah.
That shit gets messy.
Just a wild idea. I've never been arrested in my entire life, and I don't plan to break that streak. What if we, just...
Well, who would run the tavern, though?
For our audio listeners, I made a jerking thumb over the shoulder motion, like, let's get out of here.
Nice. I like the audio subtitles that we're doing for physical bits. That's a big thing for campaign.
We should keep doing it in the future.
For sure.
For audio listeners, I just made a funny face.
Stop it. Okay. As Gareth is sort of pitching this get out of town quick plan, the door to Troll Skull slams open. And when I say slams, I mean makes a reverberation through the room as it slams into the wall.
How do my ghosts feel about that?
One of them pops out of the wall and goes, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
Hey, it's me, a ghost.
That one's my favorite ghost.
He's the door closing ghost, and he closes it very neatly and nicely and softly behind the out of breath, ragged ass intruder that has thrown himself hastily against your bar. It is an older man in his late 50s. He is balding, not gracefully. His face is pallid and sweaty to the point of like dripping. He's wearing rags that don't fit him, that have like large holes in them. And he throws himself into a stool and immediately hunches over forward, the better to hide his distinguishing features from the door. My question to all of you is, who is manning the bar when this happens? Gareth.
That's my job.
Is
All right.
Arnold still behind the bar?
Yeah, I was still behind the bar as well.
That
So.
Arnold is behind the bar,
I
but like
was,
actively serving is, I think, Gareth's job. So if that's, it depends on. I guess I would probably be closer to the door because I came in more recently.
Let's say this. Let's say because you were advising Barrister Sophie, Mel, and Julian about the sort of like tax situation. Let's say Arnold's the first person to react to this person throwing himself on the bar. So Arnold.
Yeah.
So
I see that. Yeah. So I see this person as immediately. Do we have a menu at this point? Like, do we have?
You tell me, bro.
I'm asking the basic proprietor of the bar.
I think we have a menu, but because I made it, it's all just drawings.
Yeah, that's what I
Pictograms.
figured. Okay. So I passed him the hieroglyphics that we've been passing off as our menu, and I just kind of slide it over to him. I'm just like, what can I get you, my friend? Our bar's open. I'm happy to see you here.
Gosh, that's real sweet of you. I don't. He slides it back to me and says, "I don't. Just a glass of water, please." Just
You don't read. I understand. Let me go over these hieroglyphics.
No,
for
it's
you.
not. I'm actually very well at. You know what? Yeah, fuck it, fine. It's that I don't read. Gosh, it's real nice of you, Pally. But just a quick glass of water, and I'll be on my way. And
Okay, that'll be
over
9
I think like a
silver
Russian
breaths.
sleeper agent, the words glass of water get
Yeah.
So wait, Arnold, what's the price? Tell me that again.
I said 9 silver breasts. I don't know what
Okay.
water
He
costs.
goes-
Water?
He goes, for water? That's the most outrageous. You know what? Yeah, fine. It's
actually for the cup.
He pats his ragged shirt and then his trousers. And Arnold, you can see that this dude's clothes are filthy, like crawled through mud and sewers to be here filthy. However, curiously, he's not dripping anything on the floor. He doesn't leave any marks behind him. The floor behind him is perfectly clean. But he says, I don't happen to have any money on me, but I'm good for it. You said it was a
I just
silver.
take the water and I slowly pour it back into the pitcher.
No, yeah, that's
So
fine.
you just start drinking it.
He says, "No, that's fine. You can keep it. I just need just a couple of minutes to myself, just to sort of. Oh, that's real nice of you, but I'm just a couple of minutes, just like, and then I'll be out of your hair."
Is there something? Are you okay? Is
another-
there someone chasing you?
Gareth, what did you say?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say another really minor addition to Troll Skull is the freaked out strangers who need to just sit by themselves corner. It's a single stool in the corner with no windows where they can.
Yeah, I know. It's sorry.
Sorry,
Danny,
where's
go
Mel in proximity to?
ahead. You're standing at the bar, probably clustered with Sophie and Julian as you
Do
guys
I
go
hear
over.
or do I hear anything?
For sure.
or
No,
do
you
I-
and Julian both hear this go down.
Yeah, I think Julian has just propped up Barrister Sophie, just like in their little like booth seat,
Yeah.
and it's just like, okay, just stay. I don't know if I should get involved. I'm going to sit and wait until it looks like I should get involved, and then Julian's just observing.
Nice.
I think that Mel, seeing him looking kind of frazzled and sort of freaked out, and she's trying this thing where she doesn't just like kill right away, would go into one of her like pants pockets and throw down however much the water is and say to and turn to Arnold and be like, give him a cup of water. I got it.
All right. So I pour the cup of water and I slide it and I grab the money and I look to see if there's a tip involved. I've learned a lot from Gareth in this time.
There is no tip. There is no
Garrett
tip.
brushes
Mel
away
just
a
looks
tear.
at you and like kind of narrows her eyes a little bit to be like dare you to say something about it.
Okay, Diana, please make me an investigation check. Standing here closer to this ragtag figure sitting at the bar. While you're rolling that, he grasps this water with trembling hands and drinks it, although it does take a noticeable effort, and water sluices out the sides and the corners of his mouth and drips on his shirt and bare chest and sort of does get on the floor a little bit.
Can I just say, what the fuck?
Check?
Can I?
Is
Yeah.
that
Well,
the
what the
weird
fuck,
thing
Chuck?
here?
Yeah.
A guy drinking water, dude. You gotta buckle in, bro.
All
Look,
right.
Julian is he's a scholar. Okay, he's like a leave me to my books kind of dude. He's like, hey,
get
of all
that.
the things that I prepared for to see in the city, this is not factoring in perfectly. So, what?
Okay, let's get an investigation from Diana, and then Apollo, roll me an insight check, please, or perception. I'll let you choose.
11.
11.
Yeah.
Mel, standing next to this figure, he looks disheveled, looks dirty. As a ranger and as somebody that I think has no particular qualms about going into the dirtier, poorer, meaner parts of Waterdeep, doesn't look out of the ordinary from people that you've seen sort of getting into tussles. It is a little odd that this dude is like this high energy on a hot, shitty summer's afternoon. I mean, it's like 1 p.m. outside, so it's the hottest it's been all day.
Did you just use 1 p.m. as a temperature?
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
What
Just
you
'cause
do
that's when it gets hottest.
Oh,
How-
you know what? I might be the moron here. That's my
so
bad.
what you do
Right?
notice, Diana, is in addition to the gentle tapping of water streaming out of this dude's like chin and chest, it's multiplied ever so slightly, and you look down, and the water dripping down his chest is actually a delicate rose color.
I don't- Are you hurt? Are you bleeding?
No, it's awful. I'm okay. Don't touch me. No, I'm fine. And he pulls
believe
his
me,
shirt
I don't
like
want to
tighter.
touch you, but like, do you need help? Because we can help. We've got people that can heal you. How does JP feel about him, by the way?
JP is freaking the fuck out.
Like
fully
growling or like
fully hackles raised and growling, standing. Every time you take a step closer to this figure, JP takes a step between you and this
Okay.
guy.
so?
Apollo, what'd you get? Really quick.
18 perception.
18 perception. Okay. This dude is hurt and is trying pretty valiantly to hide it. But you see clearly what is either a ranger or somebody who smells something wrong start to pick up on it, because she's closing the distance between herself and this guy, and he's getting antsier for it.
I would like to just kind of still sitting, so just very properly, just kind of like back straight, so almost mechanically, like he is uncomfortable here. So, sorry, sir. I cannot help but notice that you are extremely hurt and trying to not seem hurt. It's not working for me, at least. But if you would like healing, that is something that I can provide. I have some clerical healing capabilities. Please
it's
let me know.
awful sweet of you. You guys are just the nicest. Please don't touch me. Don't come closer. I'm fine. I really am fine.
All right, well, if you would like alcohol, we also provide that. Not for
He's-
menus right there.
He's bleeding. We're not gonna give him alcohol when he's bleeding. That's a blood thinner.
Is that
He,
not a painkiller?
So would you allow me to just cast a cursory divination to detect if you are under any magical effects that I may dispel on you?
He barks a hoarse, high-pitched laugh and says, "Oh, yeah, man, sure, go for it." And then as he does that, he's trying to pull his shirt tighter, but it's obviously like torn up and ill-fitting. And as he does that, Diana and Anthony being right there, you both see flashing on the inside of his shirt, sort of in the vicinity of his heart, but not quite there, a chopstick that has been buried 4 inches into his chest that is actually very well healed and is just leaking a little bit of blood.
I'd like to cast detect magic on him.
Go for it. That I have to tell you, the school of magic, is that right?
Oh, Jesus.
Has
For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. Since magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint arrow around any visual creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn what school of magic it is. Yeah.
has Gareth noticed anything wrong with this guy aside from what oh fuck, Ironblade. What's your character's name again, Apollo? I'm so sorry.
Julian.
Julian Ironblade. Aside from what Julian has said.
No, Gareth, to your eye, he kind of looks like a squirrely drunk.
Which is why I'm trying to serve him more alcohol. That checks
Fact.
out.
Yeah. Apollo, you get a pretty clear bead of magic from this guy. It is transmutation magic. That is the spell that changes the properties of a creature, object, or environment. As you get that information, the door to Troll Skull once again swings open. The figure
There's a
walking
fucking
inside
party in here.
is wearing black leather pants that creak every time they take a step. She is wearing stiletto heels that have silver buckles going all the way up to her knees. She's wearing a red silk blouse that is strapped across both shoulders with 2 bandoliers filled with chopsticks. And she is standing at a menacing 2.5 feet tall. She hoists
God.
She hoists a repeating crossbow over her shoulder, her finger off the trigger, and eyes all of you with a wary but amused eye and says, well, all right. What do we have here?
Is Matthew McConaughey in our
It
tavern?
is Morgan to you, little lady, but I'll tell you what, look at me that way. You can call me whatever you like.
Morgan,
I'm sorry.
kinda
I hate
Helsing.
to cut in here. You can't walk into an establishment and go, "What do we have here?" It's Trosco. There's a sign.
There
Who
is
are
a
you?
sign.
So
I
when she
didn't-
says that, can I say, well, we have water. Here's the menu. We have so many different options to choose from. I would love to serve you if you would just take a step forward.
I tell you what, my friend, I would love for you to serve me.
Can I please cast this lovely little spell? Ada's comprehend subtext, because
Yes.
this woman has come in with a distinct energy, and Julian's like, "What the fuck? There's an energy
Yes.
here. They're
Absolutely.
saying, she's saying things, but I don't understand what she's saying."
Do
The
you roll
energy
for it or
of
do I roll
walking
for it?
into like, "I'll fuck you."
Yeah.
I'll fuck you.
There's no
How do I roll
roll.
to avoid attraction? How do I? like,
No roll
No roll.
required. It's just for the duration. You understand non-literal meaning of spoken or hidden language. The spell doesn't uncover lies, just the implied metaphorical meaning. Julian's
God,
just
I
like,
want that in my real
there's a
life.
vibe here, and I don't know what it is.
That's
Please
so
tell
funny.
me."
The vibe you are picking up, Julian, is excited amusement to the point of flirtation.
Awesome. I think just to cast it, it just kind of taps the side of his temples, and there's just a little in the sunlight, it would look like the sunlight through planes of glass, just a little triangle of like reflective magic. And he just nods his head and goes, "Oh, okay. Wild energy. Okay. I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna watch."
Now, y'all might have some questions for me. That's totally understandable. My name is Morgan, better known in my parts as Bloody Morgan. You happen to have there an associate of mine that I require for a minor errand, and then I will be on my way lickety split, happy to split up any sort of fee you might require for me to bring this person with me. Meanwhile, Gareth and Arnold, this figure is hunched so far over the bar he's almost slithering over it, and you can hear him muttering what are either curses or prayers deep under his voice.
The old guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, who do you need to bring with you?
That gentleman right there, the bloody one with a chopstick buried in his ribs, he's mine.
Oh, okay. Well, luckily for you, and perhaps unluckily for him, we don't really know him and aren't particularly attached. He hasn't even. Gareth leans over to Arnold. Has he paid?
I paid for him.
Yeah, to be fair.
See, actually, we even paid for
I
him,
paid
so
for him. Yeah.
I hate to sound callous
No
and rude.
tip. That's the thing.
Oh gosh, please, just I really don't mean to be in any trouble. But please, you got to get her out of here. I really and Bloody Morgan smiles, and her lips are painted blood red and spread over ivory white, perfectly square teeth. And she says, "Oh, as time's coming, this is going to get a little ugly if you don't let me take him right out of here."
How does JP feel about her?
JP is torn. He doesn't feel good about the old dude. He doesn't feel good about Bloody Morgan, and he doesn't know which way to his attention should be turned.
They both suck.
Yeah.
This man has a distinct aura of transmutation magic cast on him. Was that your doing, or?
Yeah, no, it for sure was. That's mine. This here, right here, this crossbow. She's a witchy woman. She does what she wants, don't she? Much like myself. I think we've got us a little bit of time before this one turns into some trouble. So I'm actually going to take him out into the street for this part. Just give me 2 seconds. She steps up and grabs the back of this dude's coat and physically hauls him out of his seat and towards the door. Now, I'll remind you, she is half to a third of his size. But she pulls him around like he's a paperweight.
Is
My
she
kind of woman.
like a gnome? Is Gareth able to tell why
Yeah,
she's
let's
so
call
small?
her a gnome. You guys made her, but I'll call her a gnome.
Oh fuck yeah, that's what she's just real. All right, yeah, no, she's just real small. That's fine.
Yeah, and actually, as she's pulling this dude, you see that attached to her blouse, sort of like hidden by the folds, she has a triangular pin that is done up in amazing detail and metal work. It is the head of a bat that has been
The
impaled
Illuminati.
by
Oh,
It's the head of a bat that has been gruesomely impaled by a sword.
hard.
Yeah.
Do I recognize it?
You
If I see
don't.
it?
You could roll a history check, Apollo, but I'm going to be real. It's not going to pull up much. It's an
All right.
it's an obscure pin from a faraway land.
I trust the process.
As this woman hauls this figure bodily out of Troll Skull Tavern, she's got him by the back of the shirt. She is grimly walking him forward. He is scrabbling at the floorboards, trying desperately to stop himself, to pull himself back into Troll Skull. And he is looking at you, Arnold. And he's saying, "Oh, please don't let her take me. Please. I'm really sorry. Please help me. I don't mean to do this." As his hands scrabbling against the hardwood suddenly catch purchase and start gouging deep splinters into the freshly sawn boards that you guys have refurbished Troll Skull with. And suddenly,
It's okay. We can write the repair off on our taxes.
you're gonna
No,
need
you,
it.
you really can't.
What is
The
the tax
hand
law here?
grabbing the wood suddenly shears, and you hear the wet woolen tearing of skin splintering at the seams as a huge, hairy, taloned claw bursts from this dude's hand. And then suddenly his other hand turns into a talon, and hair rips up his arms. And suddenly, from the torso up, you are looking at a massive, very, very large werewolf that is tearing through its clothes and skin. It is, and I want to make this very clear in episode 1, the coolest version of a werewolf, and that is the Van Helsing starring Hugh Jackman version of a werewolf that is canonically, according to this show, the coolest werewolf that exists in multimedia.
I love you.
We are going to roll initiative. So our order is Dianna, followed by Garion, followed by Arnold, followed by Bad Guys, followed by Apollo with his nat 1 at the very end. So Dianna as Mel, you see a huge wolf burst from the tattered flesh remains of this poor old man. Its jaws are snarling, and canine teeth are sprouting in more places than they deserve to be. And it is in the process of gouging out fistfuls of your floor as it attempts to get away from Bloody Morgan, the Wish.com bounty hunter behind him. What do you do?
Do I know anything about werewolves from my time as a ranger and hunting monsters and creatures and things like that?
Roll me a nature check, please.
Oh, yeah, it's a
Can I ask a question to supplement her nature check, if that
Good.
makes any sense at all?
Yeah, for sure.
You said it's like 1 in the afternoon, notably not a full moon.
Correct.
That's weird.
It sure is.
So
17.
Gareth yells that to Mel as she's thinking about this.
17.
You have heard of werewolves. I think everybody has, but like everybody, the hearings that you've gotten, Mel, have been rumors based on stories, based on fairy tales. You've never seen one. You've never encountered anyone that's dealt with one. So I would say this is pretty goddamn jarring to see pop up in your literal living room.
Okay.
I will say that Constance is now wearing a Van Helsing hat, like from the same movie.
Badass.
Mel's like, we should just let him go and get back to our tax issue. No, so, I think she would. Well, fuck, I really have no idea what the fuck is going on. I hate that. I'm going to pull out my bow as I usually do. I'm gonna fire like a warning shot so it lands in the door.
Okay.
Is like just a hey, I'm here. Technically I can shoot twice, so that's why I'm okay with the one. But before I go to do the other one, I'm just gonna say, hey, nobody is leaving until I know what the hell is going on. There is a werewolf in my bar. It's the middle of the afternoon. Something's not making sense, and I don't like that. So you guys need to fill me in.
Okay. I'm not going to make you roll for a warning shot because rolling to miss is that's fine. Bloody Morgan looks over at you and her smile widens as she says, well, all right, darling. Hey, you got questions, I got answers, but you're going to have to help me take this beast down. I'll tell you what, I'll split half the pelt money with you.
I'm not taking anybody down until I understand why there's a werewolf in the middle of the afternoon.
Gareth's turn next, right? Just double checking.
It is. Diana, Bloody Morgan is not going to answer that, so that's going to be your turn unless you want to do something else.
Why do I always start out shooting things?
I mean, a
was
warning
trying
shot
to
is totally
start camping.
reasonable.
Yeah, that's like
I don't
much less lethal than another, but a shot to the throat.
To
Chest.
the heart,
Yeah.
and you're
Well,
to
I'm
blame.
just not convinced that I don't know who's bad, so I guess I'm gonna. I still don't know anything because nobody's telling me anything.
I'll tell you what I will
so-
tell you, Diana, just really quick before your turn does end, is that the chopstick that was buried in this man's chest has now turned into a staggeringly large crossbow bolt with feathers on the end and glistening steel barbs running the shaft. I said shaft, guys. That's a funny word, right?
It's a funny word.
That is why I
I don't
laughed.
know why you think that would tell me anything that it has now turned
It
into.
didn't, but I'm going to take your turn
glistening.
away, and I just wanted
Wait,
to
did
give
you
you
say
a
it
little
was
bit
a
of...
silver thing though?
I did.
Okay, well, if it's a werewolf in the silver, okay, I'll shoot her.
Cool. Roll it up.
Fuck
Roll me
it.
an attack.
'Cause isn't that right, Anthony? Silver werewolves.
Yeah.
I just needed a minute, bestie. God, you know how my head works. There you go, threatening to take my turn. You know I talk my thoughts out.
because you say a minute.
You know what? Fuck you. I just got a nat 20
Did
and then
you?
plus my bonus, which is a 27.
Okay, roll 2 of your damage die, so I think it's 2d8 for you if I've got your sheet correct.
Is it?
Yeah,
Two.
so you're going to roll 2d8. You're going to add 6 to it.
Fuck is that? 7. So 12, 6, 18.
18. Okay.
Did I math right?
You send an arrow whistling out of your bow, and it slams into Bloody Morgan right below the knee and sends her spinning like a top. The back of her head smacks against the doorframe, and she is thrown off balance as a delicate pirouette of blood spins in a 360 around her, staining the nicely gouged out floorboards that this werewolf has left in Troll Skull Tavern. It is now my man Gareth's turn, and Arnold, you're up next.
As much as I hate to disagree with choices already made, I'm more against the fucking werewolf than the person trying to kill it.
Sure.
So I'm gonna jump across the bar and start. I don't know if I'm like attacking the werewolf per se, as more just like body blocking it, if that makes sense.
Okay, the werewolf is like 7.5 feet tall.
But it's on the ground, right? Is it not being dragged away?
It is in the process of being dragged away, but it is from your vantage point. So it is lowered. You can body block it, but you know, Gareth, that as you vault over this bar, if it stands up, it will tower over you and outweigh you by about 150 pounds of what appears to be rapidly growing muscle.
Well, then rather than body blocking, I think I'm gonna. How is it on the ground, like on its stomach, or how is it
Yes,
like
it is
situated?
it is on its werewolf tummy, and it is
Full belly.
scrabbling upwards to try and burst out of Bloody Morgan's grip.
So I'm gonna see if I could like sit on its like back and shoulders area to see if I could prevent it from getting up, or if it does get up, I'll be like around its
Sort of like a chicken
neck.
fight. You want to be the top
Yeah,
chicken
yeah,
in a
yeah,
werewolf chicken
exactly.
fight. Okay.
Yes.
Roll a let's call it an acrobatics or athletics, your choice. Because this werewolf is grabbed by
Acrobatics,
Bloody Morning,
please.
but is moving around and is sort of rodeoing around.
You know, Mel's not mad at this because she wasn't 100% sure who was bad. So this way, they're both going down.
Campaign 2,
Ooh,
baby.
if
Dubious
If no
moral
one's
decisions.
talking, then you're both gonna get killed.
18 plus 3 is 20.
All right, you fucking butt blast this werewolf, and you get.
I
both
do
legs.
what?
you get.
I
both-
jump over the bar, right into the.
You split the seams of this werewolf. You get 2 legs on either side of its knees, and I mean, as it sort of like hauls itself. Yeah, 2 knees on either side of its head. That's what I said, right? Did I say something?
Yeah,
else?
that's 2 knees inside of his head. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 knees on either side of its head, and as it hauls itself out of.
Hold on, real quick, Alex. If Apollo's face right now is not the thumbnail, I will get upset.
As this werewolf hauls itself out of Bloody Morgan's grip, Gareth, you have no choice but to grab the only thing you can to balance yourself, its ears.
Hell yeah.
So
Can
now
I, like,
Gareth,
Can you do a ratatouille?
so now Gareth is riding an upright werewolf holding its ears for balance and potentially control. We'll find out which later.
What is
Arnold.
that, animal handling?
Hey, listen, we'll find out.
Oh
Arnold
my
Sievelson, some things have gone awry. The monster hunter has been knocked against the door, an arrow in her knee, and there's an upright 7.5-foot werewolf at about probably 300 pounds at this point, screaming in rage in the tap room.
She
of
used
Troll
to
Skull
be an
Tavern.
adventurer. Continue. I saw the face. I knew.
Okay. Oh God. Well, I was going to cast Shatter, but I can't because one of my best friends is now on top of that werewolf, and I know that it would cause damage. Yeah.
He
So.
already died once.
So. Okay. I'm going to say. All right. So I first of all, I want to jump over the bar, so I'm a little bit closer, just to be within range. And I'm gonna cast because I've never used it before. Eldritch Blast. At the world specifically.
Okay.
So let me see. I roll for that. I got a 9. I got a 9.
9 against
9 damage.
9 damage. Okay. Since this is the first time you've cast this spell, Arnold, this is a new spell that your character is now leveling up between campaigns. Why don't you tell me what it looks like bursting from Arnold's hands?
So yeah, so I'm gonna just very quickly for those of you who don't know, like me, it says a beam of crackling energy streaks toward a creature within range. You make a ranged spell attack against on a hit, target takes 1d10 force. So I hit you, right? So when I do that, I'd like to imagine that it comes like crackling electric music notes from my face. I like to imagine I want it to be, but I kind of want it to look like almost like tentacles of music notes coming out, because it's Eldritch, right? I want to Cthulhu music line notes coming out,
the lines of the musical scale or tentacles.
Yes, exactly.
Writhing around.
Yes, just writhing around, just grabbing a hold of you and just shaking you with the percussive sounds.
All right, let's say this, Arnold. You extend your hands and scores of phantasmic sheet music explode from your palms, rippling with glossy black fresh ink color as they slice into this werewolf, taking chunks of fur and flesh and muscle out of its rippling torso. I can't say rippling with a straight face, so I had to do it a little goofy like that. But it screams, and there's a fresh splattering of blood across the floor as it almost sags to one knee, but very narrowly keeps its feet. Bad guy's turn. The werewolf is going to reach up and attempt to hurl the rogue across the room.
Yeah,
and
right.
He's going to roll a 15 against AC, Gareth.
Yeah.
It do be like that, don't it?
I'm a piece of shit.
Die already?
Dude, I leveled up and D&D Beyond was like, oh, congratulations on level up. You get nothing. Fuck you. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
All right, so this werewolf grabs you, and let's say this, Gareth, he doesn't hurl you, he just slams you through a table. You're going to take 7 points of force damage as it slams you through a table, but I will say it looks pretty badass, Garion.
I don't know if I leveled up wrong. I got 0 new like hit points.
You did it wrong. We'll fix that later. You're not going to die right now. Don't worry.
Okay, but am I still like grappling this fucking? Am I still ratatouing the wolf? He's just slamming me around.
No, he's got you in his hand, in his giant wolf hand, but he hasn't let you go. So you have the opportunity in your next hand to turn the tides against him.
Okay, gotcha.
Bloody Morgan is going to reach down and snap the arrow haft in her knee, and she'll look at you, Mel, and she'll kiss it very delicately and then throw it to the ground before pulling out 2 wickedly curved skinning knives from her waist, and then she's going to leap onto the werewolf's back. And
Man, she wants to be David Stardong so bad.
And she's going to slam both of them into the werewolf's back and use them as those sort of like gym class peg holders to crawl up its back. And she's
she's climbing Everest.
Yeah, exactly. With every one, there's the gentle slice of split muscle and sinew and a delicate like splattering of blood. And with every punch, the werewolf like arches its back and screams. And actually, Gareth, you feel yourself whipped back as a club as it attempts to like batter this gnome off her back.
Am I a melee weapon right now?
Apollo with your nat 1. Welcome to the game. You see Barrister Sophie go, what? That's first of all, never mind, I'm not even going to address that. Listen, I'm a little drunk, maybe, but Julian, that you see that too, right?
The bounty hunter and the werewolf and the people going. Yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool.
Are you good? Do you need a hand? Or
I should probably switch to water. I should probably switch to water. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
Yeah, please. Everyone's worried about you. Anyway,
it's free with purchase.
Julian's looking at this. Julian doesn't really know what's going on. He's like very methodically piecing together the events of like, okay, very suspicious dude walked in, refused care. Clearly had some sort of transmutation magic cast on him. It is the middle of the day and not a full moon. So the leading theory right now is that this lady has forced him into his werewolf transformation. Mm-hmm. And then this lady just came in with a really wild energy and no context and claiming some sort of dominion or ownership over this werewolf dude that Julian is not vibing with. Yeah, so Julian just wants to get answers and just establish a baseline of context to what's going on. Quite honestly, he's like, I still don't know who I should be fighting. So Julian, I'm going to cast Hold Person on both of them. So I can then try to just interrogate them and try to figure out who I should be fighting.
Okay.
If I'm fighting at all.
Do I save out of that?
Yes. So Julian, just refractive magical effect crackles around his hand, and 2 beams of energy shoot out to both the werewolf and to Captain Morgan as he says, can we please establish a baseline of context before we continue? Please and thank you. I don't know who's bad here. Morality isn't black or white, but please help.
Morality is a spectrum, please.
They both have to give me a DC 15 wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, wisdom saving throw. The werewolf rolls a 15.
Beats it.
Bloody Morgan rolled a 5. So the werewolf saves out of it, but you hold Bloody Morgan. She is frozen on her twin daggers, call it between the werewolf's shoulder blades.
I just say, sorry, Miss Morgan. Hi, hello, my name is Julian Ironblade. You seem very interesting. What's going on? Why are you trying to hunt this man? What, you forced him to transform. Why would you do that?
Can I speak and hold person?
Rules is written no, but yeah.
All right, sure. Fuck it.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's say you just like crack her like a little sliver, and it just like
I just like she's kind of like in a she's almost encased in like an arcane crystal, but I just create a little mouth hole.
Yeah.
Zipper.
All
That's
right, I like
funny.
that. Okay. Now I tell you what, that's a fine trick you got there, my friend. All I gotta do is unslip the boundaries of my existence, and suddenly I'm encased in crystal. Hey, it's a pretty cool deal. Let me tell you this. This fella here is responsible for the casual and low-key murder of 12 individuals from a village that has hired me to stop him and his ilk. I am paid cash moolah with a pelt of purchase, a pelt of proof, I should say. Help me kill this fella, drag him out of this town where he does not belong. I will split the profits with you for him and his woeful clan, and I can get you a bead on a fair amount of income for this lovely establishment. I don't know if you work here or what your situation is, but
Gareth
I'm
is
willing
being
to
like
help.
thrashed around. Sounds like a deal to me.
Slam, crash.
Where? What village? It's they're around the words, and I didn't see anything about werewolves close by.
I have been chasing this individual for a fortnight across the countryside. The village that I have been hired from is far, far away, but it is called God damn it, I can't even pronounce. It's a shit-stained village on the edge of a forest that has been terrorized by werewolves. They have paid me, Bloody Morgan, very well to save the day, and I am attempting to do so, except that I am now encased in a sort of chrysalis of arcane force, which I do not care for.
Like having established the context of okay, werewolf is a murderer.
But he's not a werewolf.
Sir, is this accurate information? Just to check.
There is a wet sucking sound, Apollo, as the flesh of this werewolf's chest and musculature ripples apart and a human face forces its way through its rib plate. And there's a sucking sound as it draws breath.
Yeah, a wet sucking sound.
Oh, you did
wet
that.
sucking
Okay.
sound.
As a bonus action, I would like to dispel the whole person on Bloody Morgan. So
Yeah.
that's my.
And the face stuck in the werewolf's rib cage says, "Oh, gee, I didn't mean to. It's just every now and then I get a little bit angry, and I can't control.
Every now and
It's
then
not
I get
my
a little bit lonely.
It's not my fault. You gotta help me, please. If you just let me get away from this person, I'll tell you everything."
I think I don't dispel. I'm just okay. The three of you, my uncle trusted you. I'll do whatever you tell me. Please just get this sorted.
All right, that takes us to the top of the order. Diana, you now have a little bit of context. Bloody Morgan has been hired to chase this werewolf and kill it because it has killed 12 people from the village that has hired her. The werewolf claims to have no knowledge or control of this fact. What do you do? Who do you side with?
Okay, so
Oh, I'm so
Take
sorry.
my-
So sorry to interrupt. Additional context. Bloody Morgan has offered to split the pelt price with you, and the werewolf is offering to tell you what has happened if you help him defeat Bloody Morgan.
Ooh, knowledge or money?
So, don't take my turn from me. I gotta talk it out. She said that she cast the transmutation, which means she turned him into the thing, which means he's not actually a werewolf. She turned him into one. And it doesn't make sense if she's hunting it. Why would she make it harder to hunt?
Although
I think this
So-
is. I'm sorry, Gareth. I interrupted.
it's also possible that it could be normally a wolf who transformed into a human, which is why we felt the magic, and she undid that to reveal its true form to us. That is a possibility that we might have to consider.
True too.
Or she just forced him to transform because
Yes,
they
that's
require
right.
the pelt as proof.
Or-
Exactly. That's what I was
Ooh,
thinking.
I actually didn't consider that, and that's also a really good point.
Either way, it definitely seemed money motivate whether she forced him to transform or
Game recognizes game. Listen,
Sure.
Y'all nasty.
But I she's awfully strong for someone so wee and hold an
So
arrow out of
wee.
her knee. I said what I said.
So
Yeah, she's
I've
wee.
I cannot
She's
remember
just
the
a
last
little
time I
thing.
heard "we" as an adjective.
Oh, I say it all the time. I describe my puppy as being very wee. She's very wee. She just hit 5 pounds, guys. She's real cute.
That is incredibly "we."
She's very, very wee. So I still don't trust her.
Okay.
So before I shoot her again, is she still held? Or did you
I believe at the end of his turn, Apollo didn't change anything, so he held her and deferred to your 3 judgment.
Okay. So since she's still held, I'm gonna say you're in a very precarious spot, and I don't believe you. So if you want to make me believe you, consider telling the truth. Otherwise, I've got the advantage.
Sorry, just above table, Bessie, the truth being what, from your perspective?
I think that she's up to shenanigans, and I want to kind of just break her down to say, is it money? Did she make him transform? Did she?
Okay, I see what you're saying. Bloody Morgan, she says, now I am unused to having to break things down to a sort of molecular level, but if you require that much pandering and hand-holding, I'm sure I can assist you. Yes, I forced him to reveal his true form by dint of transmutation magic. I am unused to traveling with my crossbow bolts exposed for what they truly are, so I have them disguised as some sort of slim wooden spear. They were given to me by a traveling magician that I'm not sure the name of it. I forced him to transform because I do need his pelt as proof of kill, so I can't exactly bring a scrap of human meat to this village and tell them that I killed a werewolf. That will not fly. So are we all caught up? I am not the bad guy here. I am simply doing a job I was hired for, and I'm preventing further loss of life.
Can I tell if she's lying?
Give me an insight check, please.
Can Gareth chime in as somebody being actively manhandled by this werewolf?
Yeah, werewolf handled, please.
Yeah. Personally, from my point of view, I'm inherently inclined to believe
Crash
the person and not the fucking wolf. I mean, like, call it bias.
I'm partial to dogs.
There's a notable difference.
All right.
I see dog. I rolled another nat 20.
Nicely done, Bestie. She is telling the truth. She's shooting it straight. She was hired to do a job. From her perspective, she is just preventing further loss of human life by hunting a werewolf, which is in her mind an evil beastie.
But he has no recollection, and she offered me money. He offered me info. I'm partial to dogs. I still don't believe her, but I don't. Since she's telling the truth, I don't know that I want to necessarily kill her. I guess I'm gonna go to the wolf now.
I am gonna need an action or a move here, Bessie. We're ticking a little long in this
I'm
action.
just not convinced of what I want to do, if anything. Truthfully, I don't feel solid on. I don't love it.
Okay. Then we're gonna hold. I'm gonna hold your action. Hold your action. We'll go down the order. If something inspires you to do something, let me know.
Okay.
All right, Gareth. You've been recently stricken through a bar stool.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and like stab this werewolf like through its snout, you know?
Okay. Give me a strength check because it's gonna require a lot of core strength to curl yourself up from a limb to stab at a face.
I had another idea, and if I can't do it in tandem with the attack, I would rather do it instead of the attack. So let me explain my thinking.
Please.
I have, for any of our new fans just now joining, Gareth has a knife shaped like a crescent moon that has the magic ability that allows him to either teleport to it or it to him within the range of 300 meters and once a day.
Yep.
So my idea here is I want to throw the teleporting knife like basically up in the air to teleport to it and drop back down onto the werewolf. And if
I
that
like
is
that a
a
lot.
whole thing that I can't do as well as attack, that makes sense.
I like that a lot. Let's do that. That will be your action though.
Okay,
So
that's chill.
you won't get an attack in addition to that.
Okay. That makes perfect sense.
Give me a basic dexterity check to see how well you huck this dagger.
Okay. 13 plus 3 is 16.
16. All right. You throw this dagger. I think you've got it like in a speed holster at your waist. So even being werewolf handled around this bar, you can grab it very easily, throw it just in the air. And then with a snap of your fingers, you step into the gray space between planes. You see a similar troll skull, but in shades of black and white. You step through space and it sort of shifts with you, feeling almost mud-like as it slips away from your form. But in addition to moving like that, Gareth, you see glowing figures crawling the walls of Troll Skull Tavern. You see a very nice, portly gentleman standing by the door who has recently closed it. You see several of them hanging out underneath the eaves of Mel's crow's nest on the wall.
One of them just pushing the windmill.
They're passing what appears to be a full tea service between them on a tray with little cakes. There are several soot sprites underneath the central fireplace, actively billowing up fantasy flames through the fire to give it a little bit more zhuzh. And yes, of course, there is a large woman with a mullet who is spinning the windmill on top of Troll Skull.
Gareth hits all of them with the classic like wave to a stranger you see on the street. You know the.
Hey, how's it going? And then you snap back to the world full of color. You inhale real air as you fall through the air. And that is your turn. We're going to go to Arnold.
Okay. Having only one moment ago seen a face protrude from the chest plate of this beast, right? Like Freddy Krueger
Yeah,
style.
oh yeah,
we're
happened.
imagining, like, okay. So having seen that, I'm gonna cast message to exactly where that head was, like where that person was speaking.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to ask it a question. Like I'm gonna try to ask the person inside of the wolf a question.
Absolutely, I love it. Do it.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say, hey, first of all, nice to meet you. I hope we can become best friends. Of course, I seem like you're trying to murder all of my friends right now, but you also seem like possibly a decent person in a confused situation. Is there some way we can subdue this wolf side of you and get you back?
This is a telepathic message, correct?
Yeah. Only
Okay.
they can hear it, and I can hear whatever they want to say back to me.
You hear my knocked up. Nope.
You're what?
Go. I give it tacos and chocolate and pickles and whatever else it wants.
Yeah, what did Arnold do to this guy, bruh?
You hear this.
D&D Mpreg confirm.
You listen. You
hear
hear
the pregnant werewolf
You hear this rusty,
with all of her
hoarse
werecubs.
human voice answer you and say, "Oh, gee, I didn't do any of this. I didn't mean it. I was attacked in the forest at night in the fog, and then I woke up 3 days later. I was covered in blood, and people were yelling at me, and I just want to go home, man. Please just let me go home. I hear that silver subdues the wolf, and it makes it fall asleep, and then I think I wake up the next morning, but I'm not sure. But I don't want to hurt anybody else, and I don't want to die for something that's not my fault, man."
Okay. So do I know I have some money on me and such, especially since I was recently paid by the patrons and Dianna. Do I have anything that is pure silver, like silver on me?
You've got a handful of silver gooches.
That's what I imagine. Since the spell is probably my action, I can't do anything with it.
Throwing quarters at
I
it.
will. Yeah, I imagine I do my best to throw them, but Gareth just catches them and just completely defeats the purpose.
I'll tell you what I'll let you do, Arnold, because your turn is ending. You do have a handful of silver. You can throw them to somebody else in your party to do something with on their action if you want to keep that momentum.
Okay, I'm gonna say,
if you can rely on one guy to catch coins.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. There's one person in our party I know who would definitely catch money, and he happens to be just above a werewolf at the moment. So yeah, I take 2 of the coins and do my best to, with my dominant hand, and throw them directly at Gareth.
All right, let's do 2 dexterity checks. Arnold, I'm going to have you do a dexterity attack to throw coins. Gareth, you're going to give me a dexterity save to catch coins flying at you midair while you are also in motion.
Can I argue rolling a sleight of hand check instead?
I'll allow it.
Sick. My bonus is so much higher.
Got a 19.
19 is good. Okay. It's all down to Gareth.
And Gareth rolled a 14, plus my bonus is 23.
Okay. Gareth, falling through the air, you see Arnold make a sudden, like, hurling gesture, and suddenly the air is awash with silver sparkles that you can
I feel
see
like a
catching
pulling
light.
at my gut. I
Yeah.
feel what's being thrown at me.
All right, you reach out and you snag 2 pure silver coins in your hand as we're going to go to Apollo. Watching this tableau unfold in front of you, you still have Bloody Morgan in a hold person. But let's say you have seen this brief exchange between Arnold and the werewolf where you didn't necessarily hear the exchange, but you saw a cessation of violence in Arnold's direction.
All right. If that's the case, I'm gonna just keep Morgan held.
Okay.
I'm not gonna drop that. Would it be possible for me to keep holding concentration on Morgan to see if in any of my most recent research into the topics of the occult and strange curses that afflict a person's biology, that I came across any werewolf stuff that I would be able to, I'm fully willing to spend my action just looking into to see if this guy is telling the truth. Is there anything I can do or recommend for him to revert back from this transformation?
Okay.
So that it can be a peaceful
Because
thing.
you're using your action to do it, give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Let's go.
Diana,
Don't
I'm
fuck
coming
me
back
on
to you.
this.
Just start thinking about it
No,
right now.
I know. I am thinking.
Okay, it's 18 on the die plus 7. That's a 25.
25. Okay. Based on the very alarming physical characteristics of this werewolf, everybody has pointed it out so far. The turn in the middle of the day, the face appearing in its ribcage. This is not your standard run-of-the-mill Grimm's fairy tales, or fantasy Grimm's fairy tales werewolf. This is something new and different. That being said, the rules that people go by when it comes to subduing and defeating werewolves are equally as nefarious or nebulous, I suppose would be the correct word. You feel, Apollo, like there could be a chance for you to retrieve the human inside of this werewolf while it is still a werewolf. If you could subdue the beast itself for long enough to reach in and grab the guy.
Right. Okay. I'm going to just shout. I'm going to relay that information as succinctly as I can to the boys. And let's see. Oh, that's my action. Movement wise, I think I'm just going to stay where I am, just so that I can keep a good control. And I'm going to keep Morgan held because she's gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, Miss Morgan, I'm very sorry. I think there might be a way to save the man inside. And would you be amenable to us pulling the man out of the wolf? You can kill the beast part and we can save the man potentially.
I'm actually not going to have Morgan answer you because I like the answer being ambiguous as we slide to Diana.
And I'll just roll concentration on that.
Yep.
So seeing Arnold throw money randomly, she would have shouted at that point because she trusts him and she saw sort of the signs of message happening this way. She's just gonna yell, Arnold, what's the play?
Okay, so Arnold would just shout back, the guy inside said that silver would subdue the beast. So hoping Gareth recognizes that and doesn't just pocket those coins.
How does it work when I had a held turn? Is it lost now that it's back around me? Do I get
Now that
double?
we're back to your now that your turn is it's just your turn.
How far am I from Morgan?
I think the tap room of Troll Skull being an average size tap room, let's call it 20 feet, being generous. You could definitely close the distance between you in one movement.
Is there anything else silver around me? Silverware that's real silver?
I'll
We
tell you
might
what.
have silverware.
Or
Nope. This is a question for Gareth. I'm going to break the turn order. Gareth, tell me about the special order candlesticks that you had ordered between campaign 1 and campaign 2. Were they actually silver like the brochure said, or were they pewter that you lied about?
They were silver plated because it was cheaper, but you can't really tell without looking at it.
Okay. So, Mel, you are surrounded by Gareth's low-key, not quite a lie, these silver-plated candlesticks that are on every table.
It's just enough to count.
can I like shoot
Please.
it at the
Sorry.
Put a
you-
candlestick in the bow.
Yeah.
Are you asking me if you could shoot a candlestick
Yeah.
like an arrow?
Yes.
Absolutely, yes, you can.
And I
Make
can
a...
I can do it twice. 'cause
No,
I
you
have-
may not. You may do it one time.
Do it at
But
the same
I
time.
have twice. I have 2 attacks.
All right, you can do 2 at the same time. We'll say you,
Okay.
let's say you Robin Hood Men in Tights 2 candlesticks on your bow.
I'm just saying my attack I get to do 2, so I earned that. Okay. Oh, I'm rolling really good. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Roll 1d6 for each candlestick and add nothing to it because they're clumsy as shit and you don't get to add bonuses to candlesticks.
there's also no
hurtling
point.
through air.
You added way too many qualifiers. What am I rolling?
2d6.
2d6. Haha, fuck you. That was a 6. And that was a 5.
Okay.
Bang.
Gareth, falling through the air towards this werewolf, you hear it shudder and make a rusty screeching sound as 2 candlesticks pierce its like lower back and like crudely slam into the musculature of this upright wolf. It spins like it's going to advance on Dianna. The gnome clinging to its back is actually thrown off and falls into the debris of table and chair that you've already been used to splinter into firewood as it falls fully prone because it's held by whoever this person that Barrister Sophie brought in to help you with your tax evasion. You are holding 2 silver pieces and you are skydiving towards a werewolf that doesn't know you're there. Gareth, what do you do?
Doesn't know I'm there, you say?
Doesn't know you're there. This does count, yes, as a sneak attack.
God, the only thing rogues are good for. Let's fucking go. So I think what I want to try to do is using the 2 coins I'm holding, I want to have them. I'm going to use my Libris Arcana D20s here just as something on hand. I want to have them stacked like on top of each other.
Okay.
Underneath my hammer, or not my hammer, sorry, my knife.
Okay.
So using the force of me falling down and the knife on top of it, almost driving the coins right into the top of the dome.
Top of the skull.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Roll a. That's going to be a straight up and down attack with your dagger. Add your sneak attack bonus to it. It's a high DC because you're falling with coins under the tip. Like that's a lot of hand-eye coordination.
Yes, sir. Okay, so my normal bonus is +6. I have written it. I don't know if that's still true because I don't know if my character sheet fucked up or not.
Let's call it +6 and we'll see where the chips fall.
Okay. So I rolled a 11 +6 is 17.
All right. The top of a werewolf skull, pretty thick. However, let's say that you do the job. It's not an elegant job. It's not nearly as classy as a lot of your heists, pulls, and nocturnal excursions, but you get it done. You slam 2 silver coins into the top of this werewolf skull, just enough to break the surface and to have hot iron blood spray upwards against your hand and knuckles as these silver coins are buried beneath the flesh and chime against bone. The werewolf shudders. The whole body racks in a massive spasm as it slows like it's moving through water and gently topples over to slam against the floor. We're going to pull out of initiative order so we can all act freely. Bloody Morgan is screaming bloody murder, and there's a gentle like scrabbling sound underneath the werewolf. It fell chest first, so it's laying face down on the wooden floor.
Gareth pockets the 2 silver pieces.
The werewolf gets up.
No! Gareth pockets 1 of the silver pieces.
There you
Leave
go.
the other one just right in there.
There you go.
While holding still Morgan, I'm just the man might be under the werewolf carcass, I guess. Can somebody please check if he's okay?
Will you be
And if
helping us
so-
roll him? It's a werewolf.
Pardon?
I assume we're going to have to, roll it over. It's a werewolf. It's heavy. Are you going to get off your chair and help me roll it? Or are you going to watch?
I'm holding concentration on this very dangerous bounty hunter, and I don't want to let her go until we have confirmed that the man is safe.
I
in
will
case.
rotate the wolf. Gareth, who's like straddling its shoulders, just kind of fucking. Ugh.
All right. Let's spare everybody the embarrassment of a strength check to roll a fully grown werewolf over. It's hard because it's very heavy.
Smash cut to 30 minutes later.
Everybody's covered in sweat. You're dripping with it.
Okay. Is
Arnold.
it good?
Arnold, you are looking at a fully grown werewolf, 7.5 feet tall, 350 pounds of steel muscle that has a single human face protruding from its rib cage. What do you do?
Cut him out, please.
Yep,
please.
yeah. So
Please.
Ken, is there a way? So I take out my dagger. Is there a way to cut carefully with like a silver dagger to not stab? I don't want to jab through the guy's face or anything like that. Is
It's
there a
kind
way
of like getting brownies
taunt
out of
on
a
it?
pan where you guys just kind of go around the perimeter.
I'll tell you what. Arnold, give me a medicine check, and I will allow Mel as a ranger to help you out and give you advantage if she can sort of guide you through filleting an animal, which I think she does have experience with, dressing meat out in the wild.
Can I give moral support as his best friend?
No.
You should maybe consider killing yourself.
Family-friendly Christian podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
I got a 21.
Is that with advantage? You rolled twice?
Oh no, I only rolled once. Oh,
Roll twice.
You
I'm
don't
sorry.
even need me.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, 21 is better. I rolled a 9 the next time. So yeah, 21.
Okay. 21. You slice open the sinewy muscle of this werewolf, cutting across sections of rigid, jagged bone that have clearly exploded out of very.
For the record, when Mel helped give instructions, she would not have given it pretty because she still doesn't like the other person and she knows that she wants the pelt.
Okay, fair. You do a rough job, Arnold, slicing open more layers of muscle and flesh than necessary. You separate bone that has clearly click-clacked up from nothing very quickly and is jagged and serrated in ways that bone shouldn't be.
You're using a dull, dirty blade.
You're using a butter knife from one of the tables nearby, and it's a rough job. But after about 10 minutes worth of effort, and you've got blood coating you all the way up to the elbows, and you're holding a steaming carcass open that's steaming even as it's like 95 degrees outside. You see the pale, hard-breathing form of a man trapped inside the rib cage of this werewolf, and you pull him out, and he is.
I say
still
it's a
breathing.
boy.
And it takes a little bit of effort. I think you slap him on the back or whatever, and he
count his toes.
coughs. Yeah, exactly. He's he's a 155 pounds standard baby weight.
Standard baby weight.
And he says, "Oh, Oh gosh, that's awful sweet of you, man. Thank you so much for believing me. I didn't mean to hurt anybody.
At this stage, I think, obviously, concentration. I would have released Bloody Morgan, and I would have taken the time while they were cutting him out to gather up some of the silver-plated ware, and assuming you have like a kitchen in the back or something, I would have just melted a bunch of it down, and just made a little silver chain necklace, and I would just walk over and I'd say, sorry, sir, if you put this on, it should stop you from transforming. On a full moon, you might need silver chains. I don't know where you can find those, quite honestly. Oh, wait, no, I do. Ironblade Foundry, best forgers and smiths in Waterdeep.
Are you hitting me with a sales pitch right now?
Do you want to turn into a werewolf and kill people?
Fair enough. I'll
That's
take
what
a
you've been
business
doing.
card. A business
That's what
card
you've been
will work
doing,
just
apparently.
fine. Yeah. He puts the necklace on. And as he is standing there, the werewolf carcass behind him is starting to gently smoke into nothing. Pieces of it are disintegrating into like white wisped ash that are disappearing into the dining room air. And Bloody Morgan like leaps to her feet and is fucking pissed.
Oh my god, this is Attack on Titan.
And she says, all right. Now hang on just a goddamn minute here. You 4 bastards cheated me of what I had hunted fair and square, and I demand recompense for it. You will pay me the full price of the pelt that you cheated me from, because I am going to have to go into hiding. Otherwise, the name Bloody Morgan is not going to hold water in the countryside where the rubes who hire me depend on my craft.
Enjoy hiding.
How dare you?
Get out of my bar.
All right. Intimidation check, Bessie. Give it to me. If Apollo, Anthony, or Garion want to help, I'll give you advantage.
Oh yeah, can I also step forward and say, yeah, I would suggest leaving soon, or else you're definitely about to earn the name Bloody Morgan.
Ooh, yes, you can. Yes, absolutely. All right, Diana, roll twice. Take the highest of the 2.
That intimidation. Okay. Dirty 20.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, it's so good. Thanks, Libris Arcana. Oh, 11. Let's go dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. Bloody Morgan's cheeks grow red and sullen as a flush builds up from her collarbone as she glances from you to this older, skinny man that has a fresh silver chain across his neck. And she snaps her teeth and goes, fine. I suppose you just keep him. You can just have this shitty old man. He's worth nothing to me now that he's not furred. I will see you later. And she turns and stalks out of Troll Skull. And
I like to think the ghost opens the door.
The ghost opens the door and then slams it a little bit behind her. Not enough to like damage the door, but just to make an effect.
Yeah, that's what we pay him for.
And then
we don't pay him.
The old man says, "Oh, I'm really grateful, guys. I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry for causing a ruckus. Oh, I broke all of your fine stools and chairs and accessories.
Don't worry, sorry. You are paying for them, so don't fret.
I don't have much in the term of worldly goods. I've been on the run for a couple of months since this whole thing happened to me. But I can take you to the village that this whole sort of shebang happened, and you can maybe because you helped me, you could help the rest of my family. My wife and my daughter are also whatever I turned into, and they're running amok and they're causing a whole heck of a ruckus. And I'm so scared for them. And because you saved me, you could save them.
Listen, friend, I'm going to be so honest with you. I kind of don't care about your wife and daughter. However, we do have some taxes that we need to evade.
Yes, I was about to say, I do believe that there might be some things that the firm can do for you in the realm of being able to claim the funds for you, but definitely not while you're in the city. Definitely not while you're in the city, because while you're in the city, you're in their jurisdiction, so they are legally allowed to just come in and take you to the court. It is a little bit flimsy enough, though, that if you leave the city for a little bit, you will be able to evade that until we get it sorted. So
Above table, really quickly, Apollo. What class is Julian? Is he a wizard or is he a what is he?
wizard, cleric, multiclass.
Okay. I think hearing this advice, Gareth, is going to be, well, now I don't mean to flatter you. I don't mean to come on too strong, but would you mind coming with us to this village? Because we don't exactly have anybody good with these forms like you. I can't even read them, and also, you're quite handy in a fight, and boy, could we use some of that.
Fighting makes me incredibly anxious, and I would like to avoid it as much as possible, please, and thank you. However, the book that I'm currently working on does kind of touch on werewolves and their afflicted states of nature. So
Wait,
Perfect.
werewolves are real? Like Arnold gets really excited. He's
we
like,
just
Motherfucker, you just.
Yeah, I think Gareth puts like a hand on Arnold's shoulder and goes like, "No."
Okay. Smash cut. Smash cut. The four of you riding through a forest. It is getting towards evening. Fog is lacing up through the trees, wreathing around the heavy limbs that are stop bobbing in place, you fucking Monty Python.
I'm riding my
dickhead.
horse. I'm getting immersed.
Fog is
he's
starting
practicing
to
his
wreath
riding.
around the thick oak trees that have formed the impenetrable wilderness of this forest that has eaten the path both ahead and behind you. Gareth in front is rapidly turning around a hastily drawn map, trying to figure out which way it leads, but unfortunately cannot read any of the hieroglyphs that have been hastily.
I feel like he'd be good at pictures, though.
But unfortunately, the werewolf who did I ever say his name? Did anybody
Nope.
ask?
No one asked.
Nope.
All
So
right.
we don't
Unless-
know it.
Okay, in the time that we've been on the road, I would have asked.
Okay. Okay.
Is he with us, or did we just like, all right, see ya?
That's how we hired our last employee.
You guys tell me. You are on the road with a map with instructions. You tell me what happened to the werewolf, or the man
Here-
rescued from being a werewolf.
I for sure would have, honestly, without permission, I would have forgotten to ask permission. Made more of the small silver chains for him to give to his family.
Okay.
And I would ask, if we see anyone on the road that who should we say gave us directions or sent us?
My name is Peter Sillingsby. Peter Sillingsby is my name. And you can. And I'm looking for my wife Moira and my daughter Patricia.
Moira and Patricia. Oh, okay. Yes. The Ironblade Foundry. They'll be able to get you proper silver chains, and if I figure anything out, yeah, I will. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you ride through this forest, the sun sets and night creeps over the foggy treetops. It is night falling in a fog, which means that it is subtle and almost unnoticeable until you look up and suddenly the sky is a bruised shade of navy creeping along these heavy cloud tops, and the fog that you have been riding in creeps closer and closer, eating feet of the road at a time until you can't see a foot in front of your horse or a foot behind you, and all you have to rely on your team, your party, the fellow members of the Ghost Mafia riding behind you is the noise of their horses isolated like chains of light in a fog as you walk forward. And then the road changes and it goes from hard packed dirt to cobblestone. The trees change and go from strands of maple and oak to old growth pine with knotted, gnarled tree branches hanging with dead moss. Ravens click and crack their beaks as they stare at you from the impenetrable depths of suddenly a different forest.
A crack
you
of thunder. Sorry.
There's a crack of thunder in the air, and suddenly you are standing in front of a pair of rusted, pitted iron gates with a dead corpse sitting in front of them.
Versus the live one.
As opposed to a live corpse.
A fucking dead corpse. I can't believe that's where we're gonna end this episode. You guys are the worst.
I'm
You
sorry.
said
It was
dead
so. I was
corpse.
getting so into it.
Go piss girl.
Wisdom. Okay. Got it.
Go whiz girl.
Oh,
Wow.
whiz girl. Did you just say go whiz girl?
I may have.
Hey, what up, Blooper Reel? Welcome to Campaign 2. I'm so glad you're here. Go Whiz Girl is how we're going to start it out for you today.
It's almost 3 a.m.
That's merch all day, though, right?
Go
Whiz
Whiz
Girl.
Girl.
Whiz Girl.